Hey everyone, Pastor Sean here. I want to begin the discussion of this month's book club book by sounding an alarm. Two of Christianity's cherished symbols have been taken from us. About a generation ago, the covenant sign of the rainbow was appropriated and twisted. And just in the last few years, the phrase social justice, so too, has been co-opted. Because of this appropriation of our religious heritage, the language that we use has to change. Social justice no longer means what it used to. It was a biblical phrase lacking ideological baggage threatening to the gospel. Hebrew justice was personal rather than abstract because it was found in a person, the Lord himself. In the New Testament era, an abstract Greek concept of justice slipped into Christianity, making justice seem less personal. The early church taught practical justice to keep this Greek abstraction at bay and the personal nature of biblical justice at the forefront. No more. Today, social justice is a non-biblical ideology that at its heart threatens the gospel. We need tools for discernment and education so we can be on guard against this, but also speak truth into this movement as well. And this month's book will help. At the same time, we don't want to be in fear. The practical and personal expressions of justice in community, which the church has cherished for thousands of years, needs to be confidently practiced to God's glory still today. We need to make sure that we don't throw the baby of justice out with the bathwater of social justice. This month's book is Social Justice is Not Biblical Justice. This new book has been praised by Christians all over the political spectrum. It will help us be faithful to the God of justice without falling under the idol of social justice. This is a book that some of you will want to read cover to cover, but for most of you, it needs to be a reference book in your arsenal. There are two main chapters that I hope everyone will read, and so I'll limit our discussion to those chapters when we meet later, chapter 5 and chapter 8. These two chapters will help those of you who viscerally react negatively to any social issues being brought up in the church at all. And these two chapters will help those of you who plead for the church to speak out more on issues of justice. The truth is, we have both of those groups here at Sycamore. We need to learn from each other, we need to be respectful of each other, and we need to understand where each other's coming from. This book will help. Finally, we need to recognize the opportunity here. When people long for justice and equality, they are longing for the world that God promises will one day, someday be. And we have an opportunity to share the reason for the hope we have within us, that through the gospel, God is making all things new. This book will equip us to be less fearful, less reactionary, and more loving in dealing with the current social justice movement. So just like last month, we'll order a whole case. We'll have those available for you in the office at cost. And we'll see you at the end of the month.